This is Itzel, and I'm going to give my presentation on abortion in Texas. Stances on abortion are broken up into two major groups, which are pro-life and pro-choice. People who are pro-life believe in restricting abortion, while people who are pro-choice believe in making it more accessible. Generally, conservatives and Republicans tend to label themselves pro-life, where Democrats and liberals tend to label themselves as pro-choice. Because Texas is overwhelmingly Republican and conservative, most of its legislation has been made in favor of pro-life policies. One of these policies was the 2011 Heartbeat Act, which required doctors to play an unborn fetus's heartbeat for someone considering an abortion and provide them with other alternatives in order to try and get people to stop having abortions. Again, another example of pro-life legislature is in 2021, they made a continuation of the heartbeat bill that prohibits a physician from performing or inducing an abortion after a fetal heartbeat has been detected, except for medical emergencies, which makes doctors or anyone who obeys and abets an abortion or induces one open to being sued. While one source notes that it doesn't make abortions illegal, there's a section 170A of the Texas Health and Safety Code that does make providing abortions a crime in most situations. Many people are pro-life for religious reasons, believing that life begins at conception and that taking away a fetus is murder because life begins at conception and life is given by God. And I say God because many religious groups are Christian that are anti-abortion. So, as the name suggests, people who are pro-choice believe it should be up to the person who is pregnant to decide whether they want to terminate their pregnancy or not. A common argument is that a lot of the legislature is making decisions on women's bodies are not women and are not really affected personally by abortion issues. Another issue in bodily autonomy is medical issues that could arise if women are not given access to abortion. An example of one of these possible complications is in Portia Nuemezi, who lived in Houston, Texas, and died after being denied life-saving DNC because doctors were afraid of the implications it could cause. This happened after Texas passed Senate Bill 8, which banned most abortions, which could get doctors who perform abortions into legal trouble. Another example of bodily autonomy being taken away is Samantha Casiano, who was forced to give birth to a baby she knew would not last more than a year, and her baby died 4 hours after being born. In 2022, Zerwoski sued the state of Texas because of Senate Bill 8, which made it so doctors were afraid to give her care, even after her water broke prematurely and her baby would not survive. Nonetheless, she was not given care because of the language of the abortion laws, and she developed sepsis because of it, which had long-term consequences. For pro-choice Texans, we have Texas Planned Parenthood, but for pro-life Texans, we have the Texas Right to Life organization, which has a website noting how to respond to pro-choice arguments. They argue life starts at conception and not after given birth because DNA already codes for everything that the future child would have. They argue that it's not just a woman's body, my choice, but also a baby's body. And they argue that abortion further traumatizes people in cases of rape and incest. They also argue it's more compassionate to let the child live than to end their life, and that measures to save a woman's life should be allowed if it's necessary, so it's not endangering the life of a woman.